Side, meanwhile, there is more bad news for Hillary Clinton this morning. Her support from big labor is eroding. Fox News reporting that the Teamsters union is refusing to endorse Hillary Clinton, and they are seeking a meeting with Donald Trump. Joining us now is Keith Koffler. He's political editor at LifeZet.com. Sir, good to see you, Keith. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning.
What do the labor unions want? I mean, the Teamsters, obviously, probably the most powerful or among the most powerful unions out there.
Yeah, well, the labor unions have tremendous sway over Hillary. I mean, there's tremendous money there, and, they need to, they're going to have their own agenda, and she's going to have to listen to it.
Well, they have their own agenda, but what do you mean she has to listen to her? The support is eroding, and now they want a meeting with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump has been running kind of a populist campaign to this point. So, he's been emphasizing middle-class tax cuts and things like that, and they are looking at someone who is taking off potentially with average workers. And so this may be an area where Trump has some power. And also, they may be doing this to gain some leverage over Hillary. I mean, Hillary is looking at trade deals and things like that unions are concerned about. And so this may be an opportunity for them to say, hey, you can't necessarily count on us. We may be looking at other people, and you have to agree to some of our agenda.
Yeah, it's true. Eliana Johnson, do you think Hillary's going to make some changes here? How important is the labor union for her?
Well, the labor unions really become a threat to Hillary if Joe Biden gets in the race, because the sort of white working class voters have become less of a part of the Democratic coalition in the Obama era, when Obama assembled more of a patchwork of minority and special interest groups. The labor unions were part of the Bill Clinton coalition in the 90s, and they've become less and less a part. But if Biden gets in, his run would really be a test of whether the Democrats can reassemble this white, blue-collar coalition. And I think that could really, really test Hillary Clinton's viability as a candidate.
But even before Joe Biden gets in, Dagen, they want a meeting with Donald Trump. I find this just hilarious.
And she knows their power, the union power, and she knows how critical the support is. That's one reason why she's talking about repealing the Cadillac health care tax that's going to kick in 2018. 40% excise tax on high-cost plans hits unions hardcore. She opposed the Keystone Pipeline. The pipe fitters and the unions wanted those jobs. But she's with Republicans on trying to repeal this, and it is a salute to the unions.
Yeah, it's interesting, David.
We know about Biden. We know about Biden in 2 weeks. He's got a deadline. The deadline on the debate. He's either got to be in or out.
So you think he's going to declare within the next 2 weeks?
I do. I think this is really going to become a brawl.
Keith, what do you think? You think Joe Biden comes in?
Who ever heard of someone who's been seeking the presidency for about 25 years now, not wanting to get in the race? I mean, the grief, I think, is a real thing, but also he's biding his time. I mean, remember, the later he gets in, the closer it is to Iowa. He's going to have a boomlet initially. He may be able to ride that right through Iowa and New Hampshire.
How does business see this, or the investment community, David?
I don't think business is paying attention to it.
Not yet.
I think, no, they're looking at the Fed, they're looking at markets, they're looking at China. They're not looking at politics other than enjoying the theater. And do we have theater? We got a lot of it.
Do you think that, well, then why did you see the reaction? And I know that these stocks were overpriced, but the biotech stocks, when they fell that day after she tweeted about one company price gouging, there's something going on there with concerns about what these politicians will even be talking about in the next year.
Well, that's a live issue, an attack on health care. Biotech was really extended.
Right.
So it all coalesced. There was a spark, and then you had a little fire, and a big fire. But that's not unexpected in an overextended run.
Keith, what's your take on that in terms of sort of what's going on this week? I mean, you've got a deadline in terms of government shutdown. That doesn't look like it's going to happen, correct?
No government shutdown. The leverage that conservatives had with Boehner is gone now. He's leaving. However, the current funding bill, remember, only goes through December 11th. And at that point, you're going to have the budget to deal with. You're going to have a debt increase to deal with. There's going to be a lot of reasons for conservatives to be angry. I think the Planned Parenthood issue will still be there. You're going to have a whole other fight in December, and that could end up resulting in a shutdown.
All right, Keith, thanks so much for your insights this morning. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon, sir.
My pleasure.
Keith Koffler there. Let's turn to